What's up everybody, it's Builder with Boose, back at it again with another video. So today I'm checking out a clearance issue that I got going on in the front end with this new wheel and tire setup. Since it's sitting out wider from here, every time I turn it does rub something. It looks like it's rubbing a little bit right here, so it might be an easy chop off. I know that I'm going to get rid of the front bumper eventually and make it into like a pre-runner front bumper, but for now I'm probably just going to take an angle grinder and cut off what's needed for some future events that's coming up pretty quick, which you guys will know eventually. Also, while I'm under there, I'm going to go ahead and check in some nuts and bolts. It sounds like it's a little bit loose because that's probably my doing, because I don't ever torque anything down to spec because I don't know, I just never do. But I have a trip coming up in San Antonio on the 10th to go check out Muscle Rod Shop, and they're going to help me with some future plans for the build, and you guys will definitely get a surprise coming up really soon about that. So make sure you subscribe, follow, so you can watch this build in progress. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's get ahead and get this started. First things first, we got to get this thing jacked up and in the air. Before I lift this up is these Black Rhino wheels have a cap on them, so let's go ahead and get these caps off real quick so that we can start from there. Fun fact about old Boose over here is I am deathly afraid of spiders, and this little sucker just dropped from the tire, and I'm not too happy about that. You sir need to go away. I don't care for you at all. Oh Jesus, no, don't look at me. You can walk away, you eight-legged freak. Yeah, don't go towards the jack. I gotta go over there eventually. Don't make me kill you. We want to talk about some massive spacers too. So I had to run these 4-inch spacers to fit those. There we go. Those right now. Eventually, I'm gonna talk to the guys at Muscle Rod Shop, see if we can maybe extend the axle without having to do such a big spacer. These are adapters too. They go for 5x115 to, I do believe I went from 5x5. So to fit those, because they don't have any off-road wheels for the 5x115, so I had to do an adapter for that. But I would like to eliminate the 4-inch gap that we got going on here and get a smaller adapter. So we'll go ahead and cut a bunch of this out, but it's what I was big time worried about is if it ever hits this, but it doesn't look like there's any marks on here from going up and down my driveway when it's at full suspend. I do see some road marks up here, so I'll probably just cut a good line out of this. Looks like the only thing that's attached to that is just a bracket right here. I see a nut right there. I don't know what that's hooked up to. I'll find out before I do some cutting. We'll cut and then clean up that mess too, because that's not clean. But while we're in here, a bunch of you guys always ask about what I'm running on the suspension so far. So I got the front coilovers that was made by FlatoutSuspension. You can go check out the link that I have down below for them. They custom built me a lift kit for this guy, which lifted it about 3.5 to 4 inches. And I got the upper arm from AADPerformance. I'll also have them in the description below. They gave me an extended, longer control arm for the top part. And what's cool about these is you can take them apart. So they're like, what, 3 pieces? And you can take these and then it'll help with the camber from, if you guys don't know what camber is, so that your tire leans out or in. It'll help align that a lot better with these pieces right here. So a big thanks to AADPerformance and FlatoutSuspension. You guys were a lifesaver on this build so far. So if you are looking for anything that's crazy for off-road and or on-road, so they also do street stuff, go check out Flatout and go check out AADPerformance. Those guys are literally the best guys that you can work with for your suspension needs. All right, I think for now I'm going to start with just the angle cut. If I have to go somewhere different with that and start breaking into this, I will. I know I should probably be using masking tape to draw the line and then cut, but I'm not too worried about this front bumper because a lot of you guys already know what I'm about to do with it anyway. So this is like more than likely just a quick fix until I'm able to get to that point to where we can take this bumper off. right, look at that monstrosity right there. It's not too bad. I'm going to clean it up. Obviously, I'm going to put this trim back in place, and it's going to be a lot better. But that should actually clear the front part. We'll see if this is in the way. Like I said, if it is, then we'll just smooth it out and do a good curve with it. And there, see, that looks a lot better with the trim, at least, with the trim back in place. And that gives us a lot more clearance up in here. There you go, there are my fingers. And that gives us a lot more clearance up in here. I'm gonna take these wires right here and then move them and tuck them more further this way. And then torque it again all the way to the left this time and see how close it is to this pump. All right, so that should give me the clearance up here that shouldn't rub anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and take the other grinder and then take these burrs off and round that off a bit so it doesn't look too nasty. And then we'll get back to the other side. Oh geez, well honestly that looks god awful. So I might end up just cutting into that marker right there just because of aesthetic reasons, because that looks kind of nasty, don't you think? Let's go ahead and check out the clearance though real quick before we do some more cutting. Well, that does give me the clearance that I need, but I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna cut that marker off and just go from there, because I don't like the pretty picture that's coming over here. It's not really that pretty, so we might go ahead and cut that off, but for now we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so before I went to the other side, I decided to go ahead and do the trimming on the passenger side. I mean, it's all right, I guess. It's I don't know. You decide. What? Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna lose all my supporters. They're gonna be like, what in God's name? Who gave you power tools? They're gonna be like, I don't know, man. I just went to Home Depot and I bought a couple. So obviously you can't have this anymore, but it does have a void. So I've got a redneck build, yeah? Let's get that sucker back in there. I got a redneck build, so I'm just probably gonna redneck it and cut this about right there, so at least it fills this void. This will no longer work, that's for darn sure. But at least it'll be aesthetically pleasing a little bit better, and I'll have the clearance because oh Lord, I should not have power tools. Let me finish getting this off, and then I'll put the trim back and see if it looks any better. I mean, when you put the trim back, it doesn't really look that bad. It looks like, well, I mean, it looks like I did it, but that's I wouldn't pay anybody to do that to my car, but why not? It doesn't look too bad with the edge put back in place. It looks a lot better. There's the distance, and that'll definitely give me the clearance that I need in the front part, so that way when I do some sharp turns in some mud or anything like that, it's not going to catch anymore. So I'll go ahead and give that a pass. And for everybody's information, I never claimed that I knew what I was doing. Like I said, I am learning as I go, and well, sometimes I make mistakes and sometimes I don't. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't. But don't do what I do. Ask a professional. Don't follow my examples at all, because I mean, it gets me where I'm going for sure, and it's definitely fun in the process, but don't do what I do, because it's not the correct way to do it. Because here's the inner size here. I made this box custom. I'm the one that made this myself. I'm the one that did it. It didn't come factory. It was not already here. I went ahead and shoved the wires up in there to get a good clean look. And to hide that, I went ahead and talked to a guy named Flex Seal, and he went ahead and said, if we get this covered in black, then it'll make it look a lot better, so that when originally it was white, so when you see through the tire gap, all you're going to see is black instead of white, so you're not going to see that pump anymore. And yeah, I would say that this is pretty much SEMA ready. This is, oh, I'm excited. Yee. All right, well, would you look at that? I'd say that didn't turn out too bad. Definitely got some more turning radius up in the front. I went ahead and did this side off camera because I need to speed up the process a little bit. That's definitely a lot more clearance, and I definitely can turn the wheels a lot better and get a lot more clearance up at the front. So that'll do for now until I pull the front bumper off, and it definitely pleased me. But for now, that's gonna be the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Remember, like and subscribe and keep the CM going so I can keep making videos for you guys and be some entertainingness. But for now, that's what we got. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Can't forget till I make it. So inside what it is I need.